Have you been trying to heal yourself and yet you can't seem to move forward? Well, that's why I made this video, so that you can see if any of these points may apply to you and then use them accordingly. So let's say you're trying to be free of a problem for many years and it's just not shifted. So it might be time to ask now deeply, what are the inner conflicts that stop you from being able to move forward? So I'm going to list a few now, and then you can decide for yourself if this applies to you or not. Chances are, if you're listening to this, then some are going to apply. If you're demanding perfection from yourself too much, then it's very difficult to be in a dance with the moment and finding out what it is that you need to do. Because often when you set the intention and then you forget about it, that's when what you're trying to solve for actually manifests. So it's a kind of paradox. You have the intention of what you want, but in the day-to-day, you have to let it go as well. And also let go of the judgment that whatever it is that you are now is bad and the other thing is right, because that will create a lot of conflict inside yourself. This whole idea of safety and what is safe and what isn't limits us tremendously. I mean, I cannot highlight this more. If you want to heal and empower yourself, you will have to go through every single thing that your brain is interpreting as not safe and undo it. It's not safe to be empowered. It's not safe to be myself. Your parents told you off when you were expressing yourself, or people teased you in school, and then you develop the idea that if I'm myself, I'm not safe. I'm not safe if I don't conform, if I don't seek out ways to limit myself with what is possible and what isn't. You have this hardware, which is the brain, and it's set up in such a way that it is malleable so that you can mold it. It's set up so that it can be molded and shaped to learn whatever is appropriate to that and to surviving in that particular environment. There was a brain study by a man called Jonas Kaplan, who's a psychologist at the University of Southern California, who said that partisan identities get tied up in our personal identities, which would mean that an attack on our strongly held beliefs is an attack on the self. So all of these ideas about what is safe and what isn't have become distorted in a way. If you've had a really hard time in your life, it can be quite easy to fall into this mentality and not realize that that's what you're doing. You can have this sense of helplessness and you develop this idea that life is dangerous, life is tough, things are happening to me and I can't get out of it. This feeling of helplessness is extremely dangerous because it causes depression, and that also releases cortisol into your blood, which then suppresses your immune system and creates more disease and more trouble. So it's very important that you don't have a mentality that I am helpless. Sometimes people attach to their victimhood because it's their sense of identity, or they feel like it's keeping them safe. But that's a lie. That's not keeping them safe. It's actually really doing the opposite. So really what you want to do is not see yourself as weak, but see yourself as a powerful divine being that can potentially create anything that you want to create. So if you are seeing yourself as weak and helpless, change that first. You can't forgive if all of that anger is still stuck in your body. You have to express that anger. You could express it through somatic techniques. Scream therapy is good in this case. Dancing, you could do dancing to express your anger. You have to express your anger somehow. You can use trauma release therapy, TRE, any kind of thing that allows you to fully somatically experience that anger and bring it out of your body. Once you've done that, then you can use certain forgiveness techniques successfully, because you can't just say I forgive if you still got anger stuck in your body. It's not going to work. So this is where I think that a lot of people are not really aware of, because the subconscious mind is such a minefield and so much of it is under the hood that you can't really see what's going on. You're looking for a set truth, and then some spiritual teacher comes along and tells it to you, and then anything else they say you listen to or follow blindly, and so you can be easily programmed or hypnotized to the will of that hypnotist rather than to what you want to create. When external forces come to hypnotize you and program you to believe that certain things are not possible, certain truths are true, and that there's no other way to look at it, they're only able to do that because you are agreeing to it in some way by not opening yourself up to the creative force that is around you. So that is how you are hypnotizing yourself to be limited in some ways. And then what happens is that external influences will be able to hypnotize you more easily because of that. Number 6 is the belief that my suffering is a result of doing something bad, and so my suffering is an atonement. This is one of the many ways in which submitting to a certain belief system limits what you think is possible and what is not possible. So if you say, it's my karma, I can't avoid it, I'm just atoning, I'm just living out my suffering in atonement for whatever wrong thing I've done in another life or another time or whatever it is. Well, of course, if you limit yourself with that belief, you'll never, ever, ever heal. Never. Of course you won't. It's my suffering, it's my karma, I just have to live it out. That's it. There's nothing you can do. Because you just put yourself in a box. It's not to say that there might not be karma or past lives, but you can easily heal from past lives with karma or release the blocks that have caused those things. There's things like past life regression therapy and all these kinds of things you can do. So if you believe that, oh, I'm suffering because I'm atoning for what I've done in the past, then that's what your body mind is going to believe, and that's what you will create. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel because I will be making more videos about how to truly heal and empower yourself.